Test 1, 2. Hello, everybody out there in LinkedIn and YouTube land. All right, we have sound. Perfect. Hello, everybody. This week we're covering some exciting developments in the world of retailer-owned brands or private brands. Treehouse Foods is boldly moving with its $205 million acquisition of Harris Freeman's private brand tea business. We'll also explore Circana's latest market insights, highlighting the growth or the growing dominance of private brands, and take a look at Tesco's sustainability push as they eliminate plastic packaging from their premium tier private brand finest dried pasta range. So let's get into it. Welcome to Velocity Week This Live, your source for all things private brand, private label, and retailer-owned brands.
I'm Laraine Durham, Vice President of Marketing and Events here at the Velocity Institute.
And I'm Christopher Durham, President of the Velocity Institute. We're here to inform you of the latest trends, insights, and updates in the private brand industry. Today is Wednesday, December 4th, and we're back with fresh news and opinions after taking Thanksgiving off. So hello again. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving.
If you join us every week, we'll bring you breaking news, industry insights, and upcoming events so you can stay in the loop about what's coming up here at the Velocity Institute.
And of course, join us most Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live on LinkedIn and YouTube. As you saw last week, we weren't here. We were having Thanksgiving.
Or maybe you didn't see.
Or maybe you didn't see because we weren't there.
Please make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. First up, a few private brand picks from us.
You got it.
Yeah.
What's your pick?
Okay. All right. Well, this week I have Trader Joe's lemon pasta. How do you say the name of this pasta?
I think it's torchetti.
Torchetti pasta. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't.
Would you like me to read it?
But it's imported from Italy. We went to Trader Joe's a couple weeks ago. It's a journey from our house. It's about 15, 20 miles from our house. So we journey there and we stock up on all the things that we see. And we haven't seen this one before, but it's a lemon infused pasta imported from Italy. We thought it looked nice packaging, nice concept.
It's a very classic kind of woodcut Trader Joe's illustrations. Let's see what the pack says. Trader Joe's carries a torch for pastas of all shapes and sizes, and the torchetti or little torches. So they're little twisted pieces of pasta.
I've never seen a shape like that before.
See there?
We need to go to
torchetti.
Italy.
Yeah, we definitely need to go to Italy. And the torchetti or little torches within this box are no exception. They shine brightly with Sicilian lemon flavor, and they're made with organic Durham wheat semolina. This wavy, irregular shape is extruded through a bronze die that creates an exterior of ridges, making each noodle an exceptional vehicle for carrying an array of sauces for both hot and cold dishes.
Yeah, you always like the pasta that holds the sauce.
I do. And the thing about this one is, protein's the biggest thing out there right now.
Protein in it?
There is 7 grams of protein per serving in this. Yeah.
Excellent.
I think it's the wheat there. The semolina has a higher protein count.
Well, that's good.
And it's certified organic. So very cool. All right. Mine is referencing my book that came out a few years ago, Vanguard Vintage Originals, that you can get on Amazon right now. So you can go out and buy your own copy. It's a coffee table book that has about, 250 different vintage packages that have all been shot beautifully by Terry Campbell out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Hello, Terry, if you're watching. And tells the story of private brand going back in America to the late 1800s. Today, we kind of are going to look at what everybody thinks of if you're over 50 and how it all started, which isn't actually true, which if you buy the book, you can find out.
Who's over 50? We're over 50.
Is generic.
Light beer.
So the thing about vintage packaging, and most of this I actually found on eBay or some folks donated it to me, is paper packaging rarely survives that long, but cans and bottles are pretty good about it. So people think of this kind of generic, right, black text, white can. Well, it turns out the variety of generic was pretty large. So you get
like small cans. I see 12 ounces. I guess
they're
that's a
12 ounce
regular
cans. I mean, it's an old school can. So this is a newer school can that has the pop top. This one, you needed an actual key to open.
You need one of those, like your mom opened the fruit punch.
This one had the kind of 80s.
What's in it? Beer.
Yeah, and so you see a yellow version. This one, this one had the 80s pull tab that completely came off. They eliminated those at some point, right?
Blew up my flip flop, stepped on a pop
That's
top.
exactly what he's talking about. People would, and it was a lot of
Where's Play
trash,
Dockery when you need them?
right?
Yeah. Clay loves.
And then this one is Albertson's old school kind of. And this one's
diet,
yep.
sugar-free diet cola. Artificial. I gotta get my glasses. Artificially sweetened. So this is like a precursor to a Tab or Diet Coke.
Probably came out about the same time.
I wonder if it has saccharin. Contains saccharin.
Yeah,
which has been determined to cause cancer in laboratory animals, and yet people still continue to eat things with saccharin, which is baffling.
So if you ever watched the old school movie Repo Man, all of the packaging that was when they walked the grocery store was all Albertson's old school generic private brand packaging. So, kind of cool stuff, but it's generic. So there was a lot more variety than people have in their head, which is interesting to see.
It's not just one black and white font. There was colors and different fonts and
all kinds of crazy things. Yeah. All right. So first up, of course, we want to remind you that we're here virtually every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Live on LinkedIn and YouTube. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button, and you'll get alerted every time we go live. Or if you want to watch it on LinkedIn, you can do that as well. And then if you'd like to watch the replay, you can come back, and they're available both on LinkedIn and YouTube. But you can go to our Velocity YouTube channel. So pretty exciting there. Story number one.
Private brand manufacturer Treehouse Foods announced it had signed an agreement to acquire the private brand tea business of Harris Freeman and Company, Incorporated. The $205 million deal underscores Treehouse's ongoing commitment to strengthening its offerings for retailer-owned brands and includes manufacturing facilities in Moorestown, New Jersey, and Marietta, Georgia. Treehouse Foods chairman and president and CEO Steve Oakland highlighted the strategic significance of the acquisition. This deal reinforces our leadership in the retailer-owned brand tea category, enhancing our ability to deliver high-quality, uniquely blended teas that meet customer demands, said Oakland. It aligns with our long-term strategy to focus on higher growth, higher margin categories that provide value for both our retailer partners and consumers. The acquisition will bring Harris Tea's blending and sourcing capability under Treehouse's umbrella, allowing for vertical integration with its tea business. The move is expected to boost Treehouse's ability to support retailer-owned brands with innovative, cost-effective solutions, further distinguishing it in the private brand marketplace. Kevin Shaw, co-CEO of Harris Freeman, expressed optimism about the transition. Treehouse Foods is a natural fit for Harris Tea's next chapter, Shaw said. Their scale and expertise in retailer-owned brands will enable continued growth and success for the business. The transaction, which Treehouse plans to fund primarily with cash on hand, values Harris Tea at approximately 6.5 times adjusted EBITDA, accounting for synergies and tax benefits. The deal is expected to close in the first quarter of 2025 and will strengthen Treehouse's financial and operational capabilities in the retailer-owned tea category. Treehouse also reiterated its 2024 guidance, projecting improvements in volume growth and profit margins, reflecting its confidence in the continued demand for retailer-owned brands. This acquisition cements Treehouse Foods' position as a key partner for retailers seeking to grow their private brand portfolios, ensuring access to premium tea products while delivering value and innovation.
So this is an interesting move for Treehouse. Treehouse has been around for years, and they've struggled the last few years. And I'd have to go back and check, but I think this is really the first acquisition I've seen them do in a number of years. I mean, the last few years, it's really been struggling to be profitable, selling off assets, spinning off things. And at one point, they were the largest private brand manufacturer in the world. So the whole Treehouse story is intriguing, and maybe we need to do a whole story on that. But Treehouse came from a group of Keebler executives. So Treehouse is actually named after the Keebler tree,
right?
Which is kind of funny for a private brand company.
Right.
And then they went out and bought up a whole bunch of private brand manufacturers and put them all together, hoping that the sum of the parts would make something bigger.
Is this their first tea acquisition?
I think they have some other beverage things. I don't know about this. Is really tea bags and things. I don't know about that. But, it's an interesting move. It's good to see Treehouse on the upturn on that. So that's exciting. All right, next story. Today we're talking about Circana's new market insights for 2024 and predictions for 2025. And the big story here is, of course, private brand related. It's about the growing power of private brands in food and beverage. Private brands are on the rise, so let's talk about it. So let's start with the facts. Circana reports that private brands have seen a 3% increase in volume sales this year, while mainstream brands have slipped by 1%. Consumers are turning to private brands for their unbeatable combination of quality, innovation, and value. Of course, we all know that. Private brands or retailer-owned brands are no longer just a budget-friendly alternative. They're becoming a top choice, even when compared to premium products. Sally Lyons-Wyatt, Circana's EVP and Chief Advisor, explained it well. Consumers are looking for value, and private brands deliver just that, whether it's affordable everyday staples or premium items that punch above their weight. So what exactly is driving this growth? Well, first, e-commerce is playing a bigger role. While online food and beverage sales only make up about 10% of the market, they're responsible for 35% of dollar sales growth. Online shoppers are more likely to explore and trust private brands thanks to transparency and convenience. So let's talk about the changing consumer behavior, and of course, it favors private brands. Circana's insights also highlight a shift in shopping habits that plays directly into private brand strengths. Consumers are making more frequent trips to the store, up 8.9%, but buying fewer items per trip, as much as an 11% decline. This more selective approach gives private brands a chance to shine, especially as shoppers focus on value without sacrificing quality. Additionally, the shift from center store staples, that's a tongue twister, which is up 0.6% in volume, to perimeter categories like fresh produce and meats, which is up 2% in volume, opens up new opportunities for private brands. Retailers that can offer high-quality private brand options in these high-growth areas are positioned to win big in 2025. Circana's outlook for 2025 paints a promising picture for private brands. Dollar sales are expected to grow between 2% and 4%, with price mix growth ranging from 1.5% to 3.5%. This means continued demand for value-driven offerings, a space where private brands have been thriving. Even as economic uncertainty looms, private brands are poised to gain further traction. Lyons-Wyatt notes that consumers are reassessing their spending, stocking up less often, and delaying certain purchases, but they're still willing to invest in private brands that deliver the right value at the right price. Globally, private brands continue to shine. In the EMEA, or the EMEA region, private label products now account for 39% of food and beverage sales, up from 37% just 4 years ago. This trend underscores the growing trust in private brands as consumers worldwide prioritize value without compromising quality. For retailers, the opportunity is clear. Lean into your private brand strategies, focus on innovation, expand premium offerings, and ensure your private brand portfolio meets the value-driven needs of today's shoppers. As consumers increasingly turn to private brands, those who stay ahead of the curve will capture more market share. What do you think of all that?
I think as the economy gets a little more difficult, people naturally turn to private brands, and then they find them and they like them, and they continue to buy them and maybe explore more once they feel a trust for them, I guess.
I think it's the sweet spot, really, since the turn of the century. Retailers have focused on making sure their quality was right, and that products tasted good, and they were priced right, and the package, there was a compelling design and all those things. So now when you hit a rough economy, if they'll try them, they stay.
We've seen that. Now, I wonder why shoppers are going to the store more frequently, but buying less items.
I would say it's just they don't want to have the investment in their pantry. They want to keep it in their wallet. Right. So if I can spend $300 to fill up my pantry,
right,
maybe I need that because I need a new tire or gas costs more or whatever. So they're just staying more liquid.
Yeah, less likely to stock up, I guess, when they have less dollars in there.
Well, and the shift to the perimeter is pretty huge.
Yeah, I mean, we could even draw a GLP-1 reference to that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, people are eating more protein, more meats,
more fresh produce,
less packaged food. So how do retailers put private brands on fresh meat and produce.
They already, a lot of them are.
Yeah.
A lot of them, you can walk into virtually any grocer, and even Walmart has,
Chicken.
great value chicken or what have you. And they certainly have market side produce and all of those things. So there's a lot of space to play. And then when you look at the Krogers of the world with, Simple Truth and all those, there's a lot of space to play on the perimeter. It's just traditionally been easier to do it in packaged goods. So they can show up with your logo on it. Honestly, a lot of the change from penetration when you look at Europe is because most European produce and meat is tagged as private brand, whereas here it may not be.
It may not be.
Right. So we're not measuring apples to apples numbers. All right. Story number 3, Laraine.
This week, if shoppers are grabbing pasta at Tesco, they'll spot a significant change. Tesco's finest dried pasta range has ditched plastic packaging in favor of paper. This environmentally friendly move will save over 11 million pieces of plastic a year, weighing more than 30 tons. The change applies to 10 product lines available in both larger Tesco stores and Tesco Express locations. The new paper packaging is fully recyclable and can be tossed straight into the household recycling bins, making it easy for customers to do their bit for the planet. Claire Lawrence, Tesco Group Sustainability and Quality Director, shared the company's vision. Removing unnecessary plastic is an important way that Tesco can reduce its environmental impact. The new paper packaging works just as well as the old plastic, but can be popped into your normal recycling bin with other paper. We're proud of the work we've done so far, but we'll continue to look for ways to do more. This initiative is part of Tesco's 4Rs strategy: remove, reduce, reuse, recycle. They put remove at the beginning of that.
Well, that's the easiest way to do it. If you just don't make it, nothing else has to be done after that.
I guess pasta was in paper originally.
Or in plastic.
I guess on this one, you've got the plastic window with the paper.
And a lot of folks have eliminated the plastic window.
Yeah, they just put a picture of.
You just have a lot of old school merchants who think, well, if customers can't see the shape of the pasta, they can't buy it. Well, this could be solved. This could be solved by just moving this image to the front.
And I think the reason why we even picked this up wasn't really so much the shape, was that the lemon.
Well, this happened to be, it was a lemon themed month, like pumpkin spice. So it was a whole lemon set.
Yeah. Let's see, where was I? The remove, reduce, reuse, recycle, which has been driving sustainability efforts since 2019, To date, the program has removed over 2.3 billion pieces of plastic from Tesco's UK operations. Recent innovations include eliminating plastic packaging from Tesco's own brand pocket tissue multi-packs.
So we reported on that. It was the kind of plastic that goes around it.
Saving 55 million pieces of soft plastic annually. Launching luxury soft toilet rolls and kitchen towels made from recycled materials, including cardboard from home delivery boxes and waste from corrugated cardboard. This eco-friendly process uses fewer resources compared to traditional methods. Tesco's pasta aisle is just the latest step in making grocery shopping greener and more sustainable for everyone. What do you think? Are these changes enough to inspire other retailers to follow suit?
We'll see. Here's the thing. I think the easiest sustainability in the stuff we should be rushing to is this kind of change where it does not impact my experience whatsoever. It's still easy to shop. The packages look nice. It's not confusing.
What's inside?
So why not eliminate the plastic and have a recyclable thing? Might as well.
Yeah, I think we, as plastics, came into being, everything just shifted into them because they were
It was easy. It was just easiest.
And now everything has to shift back and figure out what it was.
Well, I think then you just use plastic in the appropriate places. There are still uses for it in food safety and longevity. So there's a whole conversation around when to use packaging, but in things like this, where it's not going to go bad. Right. This is just as protective. It'll last just as long. It looks fine on shelf.
Mhm.
There's no reason to not shift over.
Because once that plastic is created, it never leaves.
That's correct.
We
learned
learned
at our
our
sustainability
It
summit.
never breaks down, that never goes away. The fish eat it, we eat the fish, and on and
The
on.
endless
endless
cycle
of plastic
goes on. All right, so now I want to take a look, a first kind of teaser look at our 2025 events that are coming up. So, of course, we'll be doing this show every week at Wednesdays. If you'd like to sponsor, we have some sponsorship opportunities. Intriguing thing about this is because we stream to both YouTube and LinkedIn, and actually to 2 channels on LinkedIn, so to both the Velocity Institute channel and to my personal page. We're getting a lot of coverage on that. It's not a lot of people watching live, honestly, but there are lots of people watching the replay, and they can go back and do it. And then we pick up all of this stories, and it goes out to our 30, 40,000 email subscribers. So we compose a post about it. So the opportunity for sponsors to get exposure on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and to our email subscribers is pretty huge.
Tell them how to join the email list.
Join the email list, just go to velocityinstitute.org and it'll pop up and you can sign up for the email list. That's very easy. So we'll be doing that every week. That kind of subs out for some of the virtual events that we've done, because this is actually probably not 52, but maybe 48. We'll take some holidays off and things in there. So a lot more content, a lot more opportunities. As we come to the new year, we're also going to look at bringing on some guests, and maybe there's some topics they can discuss. Who knows? But I think there's the opportunity to grow this and make it an interactive conversation with the private brand community. Then coming up in May, our biggest event of the year, we're reinventing and rethinking. So it's the Velocity Institute Conference and Expo. Yeah, you did the other way right there. Right? Yeah. The tagline is the art of retailer-owned brand innovation. So kind of playing off that art and innovation piece. It'll be May 13th to the 15th.
Save the date.
That's the traditional time when we do it, and it will move from a hotel to the Men's Museum in Uptown Charlotte, North Carolina, which is at the Levine Center for the Arts. It's a beautiful, beautiful space. It's going to give us an opportunity to do a lot of cool things. We'll have an expo that actually is in this foyer, and we'll eat all the meals and such. So we'll have about 25 curated expo booths. So if you'd like to get your expo booth today, they're available. There's only 25, and I'm looking for the coolest stuff, the most innovative stuff, and it can be anything from manufacturers with new and exciting things to agencies to research companies to you name it. If you want to help retailers build their brands and you've got something cool going on, you should have a spot in one of these 25 booths. So please reach out to me and I'll give you the contact information in just a minute. So of course, sponsorship and booths are available. And then the Vertex Awards is currently open for entry right now. Make sure you enter before December 15th to get the early bird rate. And it goes up $50 after that. And then it closes in January and it'll go up another $50 before that.
What is the Vertex Awards?
Well, the Vertex Awards is the only global private brand packaging competition in the world. So last year we had about 600 some odd entries from 53 countries and 78 retailers. So huge. It's our 13th year, maybe 12th or 13th year. So huge. If you want to go, you can go to vertexawards.org and you can see all the past year's winners. Just some amazing packaging from all over the world. We so often think of the United States and England and France and Canada. Well, there's countries that will show up every year and just do amazing things. Believe it or not, India, Spain, and Ukraine, and New Zealand. Stuff that you may not have ever seen, but that are really driving globally where the trends in private brand are going in design. So we have,
There's a lot from Philippines.
we had winners from the Philippines last year. We have about 17, 18 judges. I'm still building up the judging panel this year. But they're from all over the world. So they'll evaluate and assess and score all of them. And then you have the opportunity to win a Vertex Award. So super exciting. And we'll do Vertex Awards competition award ceremonies in the United States at the Velocity Conference in May, and then shortly thereafter in Amsterdam. So you have the opportunity to get your trophy and have a drink with us. It's pretty exciting. And as I said, here's Charlotte. So May 19th in Charlotte, North Carolina. Sponsorships are available for that as well. If you'd like to get your brand, your name, your company in front of basically the entire design community and manufacturing community for private brand, you can do that. As well as in Amsterdam. So shortly thereafter. Then we are rethinking our whole Velocity Institute Sustainability Summit. Still some details to work out there, but basically the goal is to become a more global and more sustainable and more innovative event. The last few years, the first couple of years, we were virtual. The last 3 years have been in person at Cincinnati, Austin, and this past year in Phoenix. This year, we're going to go virtual again. It's going to be a global event. So the goal is to really build a global conversation. Obviously, you eliminate all that travel and all the stuff in person, and it's a much more sustainable conversation. We have the opportunity to build a much bigger audience globally. So stay tuned for that. Watch out for details. If you'd like to participate in it, you can reach out to me. And then maybe we'll do in person every other year. Now, I don't know. We'll see. It may move around the world. Still working on the details of that. Again, make sure to join us Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live here on LinkedIn and YouTube. And you can reach out to us at velocityinstitute.org to sponsor. And you can actually email me at Christopher or at cdurham at velocityinstitute.org, and I can get you any information if you'd like to learn more about all the things we're doing this year. So, of course, we're just about done for the day. I've covered, I think, most of it. So thank you for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next week with more updates and stories that matter in the world of retailer-owned brands. Until then, stay bold and keep innovating.
We'll see you next time on Velocity Live.
I'm Christopher Durham.
I'm Laraine Durham.
And we are the Velocity Institute.